Sarah Jacobson, Marketing Artfully. So I have an amazing, fun Halloween marketing campaign ideas blog post, and I wanted to kind of, sometimes it's easier to listen than it is to read. And so I wanted to add this little video so that I could show you guys some of the things that I'm talking about, maybe give you some more feedback about what I think goes into having a fun Halloween marketing campaign. So number one, you want to know when Halloween is ramping up if you're doing a marketing campaign. And I find that people will check on October 31st to see what they should be doing. But your holiday marketing campaigns, you should be planning maybe a month in advance. Let's be honest. Most of us aren't, a big box retailer. We're entrepreneurs. And so we're not going to be planning out, 3 months ahead or anything like that. But it's a really good idea to get all your stuff together and then kind of plan it out over time. And so the Google says that just regular, let's see, let's just do Halloween rather than Halloween decor. Halloween. When do people start thinking about Halloween? And they honestly start thinking about it way back here in June. But to be honest with you, let's say September, middle of September, which is what we're saying, about a month ahead. And then they start thinking about it, and then it dies off, first week of November. So what does that mean for you as a small business owner? Now, I have a range of different people. I have real estate agents that are service people, which that may be more like having a fun Halloween party or giving away fun pop-bys where you drop by their office or your customers' homes and you give them a little gift bag. It may not be so much you might set up a little drinks party at one of the local watering holes or something like that. It may not be so much about holidays as it is about maintaining that connection between your people. But I have a lot of Etsy sellers, and we need to know how to increase our sales during the holiday period. And if you sell anything that goes that way, it doesn't necessarily have to be on Etsy. You could extrapolate it to your Shopify site or anything like that. So one of the things that I find is that I feel like people struggle, small business owners struggle with creativity and being able to figure out how to make something Halloween-y, okay, or even for any of the holidays. So I was going to give you an example, like for Christmas and for that time of year, I sell planners. So, planners are great, but I'd like to capitalize and sell something else. So I made a Black Friday sale. But now for my shop, my Etsy vintage shop, what I did was I got some things like, there's a black stand under here. It's hard to tell. Oh, we'll go to it, right? There's a black stand under here that I listed in my Etsy shop as a Halloween and SEO'd it out for Halloween so I can sell it, right? It doesn't always necessarily mean that your thing has to scream Halloween. And one of the ways I always get really great ideas is to go to Pinterest. So you want to see, okay, so you have costumes, decorations. So if you can get it into decorations any which way, like for me, I love that. But costumes, food, backgrounds, makeup, parties, treats, crafts, quotes. Oh, quotes. I do really well with Halloween because on my website I have a page of Halloween quotes with pictures because I love making pictures. So kind of start to think about what do you love to do and then think about ways you can make that work with your own business. Now maybe it's that you love to dress up, right? And then you happen to be an accountant. You're like, okay, well, great. I can post a picture of me dressed up. But you could do a little Facebook Live while you are shopping for your costume or, taking your kids trick-or-treating, things like that. It doesn't all have to be so serious, especially if you're doing it on social media. That is a thing. Now, like for me, I'm doing all of the holidays, mostly, in a blog post so that I can get that Halloween traffic for people. So it's just, honestly, it's about getting creative. And I know that that's a horrible answer because, Ain't nobody got time for that. But one of the things that you can really capitalize on as a business owner is by using a little bit of that creativity. Now, this is a cool tool called Marmalade. I'll put a link to it below, where they will show you commercial intent. So the Google Trends and was showing you just like the general term when people start thinking about it. And this tool shows you when people start doing buying searches on the Etsy site. So if we look at Halloween, Halloween starts in September, goes to October, but this was a super interesting search that I found that actually shows that coming up. As soon as I hit pause so you don't have to watch it, it'll come up. Hang on. And it came up right away. So anyways, but this shows that August is actually a really good time that people do searches for Halloween costumes. And if you didn't have your products available then, you couldn't be found in search. So that's really interesting. And one last thing I want to talk about is how much I love Halloween, because it's such a good graphic holiday. But I also want to talk a tiny 2 seconds about the fact that if your client base is especially evangelical Christians or religious, you may want to think about skipping this holiday, because there's a little bit of controversy around that, whether Christians should be celebrating Halloween. But for me, it's my birthday. It's October 29th, and so I'm all in. But the cool thing is, when you're buying pictures, and this is on the Shutterstock website, I'll put that below, you can find images like this and then just go ahead and put a little, use PicMonkey or Canva to put a little word on there. I made an example in the blog post that is, Happy Halloween from Marketing Artfully, right? I love these kind of creepy ones. And what you want to look for if you're going to use PicMonkey or Canva to put an overlay, or like word text for Instagram, you want a big open space. It's called the negative space. So this is a really good one. You could put a really cool Edgar Allan Poe quote here and, goth it up and have it be really fun. Now, what I love about sites like Shutterstock, I use Big Stock Photo or Shutterstock, is that sometimes they have them already made, and he's a happy little pumpkin. If you just need to find something to post for the holiday, you don't have to do anything exciting. Now, if you want something a little bit more interesting, like, so I did this, right? Like, so I did this, and then my very last picture, I think I have it, is shop for fun vintage. Like, that is advanced, right? Like, that is an arrow and words and things. Then you can go to a site called Fiverr, and they have people that for $5 will make you a fancy one. I wouldn't do it for all your products, but this is going to my category page. So it kind of encompasses, it was just the coolest picture I had of a Halloween that I had done with my product photography. So that is that. And then, try to match it with what you're selling. So I don't sell things to children, so I wouldn't use children in mine. But if you sold something to children, that would be like, this is a super cute picture that you could use for your Facebook posts, things like that. Just put a few words over here and you're good to go. So hopefully that helps. Oh, one last thing is, I love, I'm kind of corny, and so I love Halloween for all the corny things, you could say. Like, when I was a realtor, I made the pop-by bags to send, and then I said, don't be spooked by the real estate market, it's fantastic. Or you could say, witching you were here, or there's a whole bunch of things. I have a whole list of them, and then a link to 100 really cute, fun quotes to use in your marketing. So hopefully that helps. If you like videos like this about marketing, please make sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up. And if you could leave a comment, YouTube really does like that. And if you have any questions, I love hearing them. And sometimes that gives me ideas for other things to make on the channel. So, Tara Jacobson, Marketing Artfully.